because Ed Jones from Nutrition World is back with a table full of products that can help you whether you currently have pain or are looking to prevent it. And there I went, Ed. You said, let's not use the word pain, but instead let's use inflammation and discomfort, because that truly is what we're talking about in those joints.
Yes, because when you use the word pain, I'm thinking more like you stub your toe and it's like, ouch. This is a different kind of feeling.
Okay.
It's chronic, every day, every week, every month, almost, that you're inflamed, you're tight, you're hurting. And this country does 400,000 joint replacements per year. And how many of us know almost every other person you talk to is hurting?
Mm-hmm. Right. And we're doing it for a number of reasons, and you kind of want to direct people to your website, because in addition to the conversation we're having this morning, you've got this great video by a friend of yours who talks in depth about this problem.
Well, it's Dr. Michael Murray, and he's a physician who's written about 18 books. He has a 3-minute video that discusses the options to help lessen chronic pain and inflammation.
You are a believer, however, that any good, healthy lifestyle has to begin with good nutrition and enough sleep. You can't emphasize that enough.
Have to have a few things. You have to have enough sleep or else you produce cortisol. Cortisol is a stress hormone that creates havoc on the system. You have to not be missing meals. You need to not be over-consuming carbohydrates. You need a higher fat diet of healthy fats like avocados, coconuts, raw nuts, and you need modest amounts of very good clean protein like grass-fed beef and other things.
Fish, wild-caught fish.
Right.
Okay, but now let's begin with what you brought with you today, because you were telling Gina Crumblis that for every medicine you take, like an Advil or something, you release a teaspoon of blood.
Well, there is, and I call it kind of the deep, dark secret about non-steroidal anti-inflammatories. Well, these are the pain pills that we all go to the drugstore and see a myriad amounts of.
Right.
They're perfectly fine in the holistic viewpoint on a short run. You fall, you hurt yourself, you know, you can't sleep at night because you have this terrible acute pain. That's one thing. But doing it every day does two things to you. It lowers this enzyme that decreases pain, but guess what? It lowers the ability of your body to produce moisture back in the joints.
Okay.
How many of us have stepped on leaves at the middle of winter and they just crunch? That's what's happening to the American joints because of overuse of non-steroidal anti-inflammatories and all the things I mentioned, from sleep and diet and lack of nutritional support.
Okay, then I'm going to reverse our plan, and we're going to begin down here then on this end of the table, because this is your group for anybody who has that deterioration within their joint already. This can help them.
There are things that we know: glucosamine sulfate, MSM, having the right vitamin D, enough omega-3 fatty acids. Those are a big part of the plan to rebuild the chemistry so that your body can heal itself. My whole life has been devoted to the belief that our body has within it all the healing that we need.
It's designed that way.
It has. It's a pharmacy within us, but we have cut the switch to the off position because of the way we live.
You have something down here on the end that you said really is taking the country by storm, and what is it called?
Oh, it is. It's called bone broth. And what it is, it's in the old, and still today, you can get bones from animals and you cook them into a broth. It has incredible therapeutic and medicinal effects because you're getting collagen. That's one thing we need desperately to rebuild our own collagen. It has immune abilities to help you have an immune system that's very healthy. Does it taste great? It tastes like strong chicken noodle soup to me.
And you can warm it up
if
you wanted to do that. Don't take it cold. And just a little capful, how much do you need?
you'd want to drink several ounces. Now, Dr. Axe, A-X-E, wrote a wonderful article. If you Google Dr. Axe and bone broth, the best article I have seen to date. I actually read it this morning.
And real quickly on this one, I wonder if you could use it like broth, since it does taste like chicken noodle soup, so you can mix it in with your foods?
My daughter did that last week. Absolutely perfect to do that.
Okay. But there again, if you go to Nutrition World and just ask Ed or anybody else there, there's a whole grouping you can see of items that you can take if you currently are having this really bad problem and you're wanting to avoid a surgery. Is that right?
Well, if you're wanting to avoid chronic inflammation, this is the absolute safest option.
Okay.
But it takes time. This is not like you take a pill and tomorrow you feel better. We're trying to fix an imbalanced chemistry, and that requires a plan.
Okay. Now this grouping is different from this grouping.
Right.
What's here?
Well, this is to me, the number one most herb that I have the most confidence of, and in PubMed and all the research verifies it, is curcumin or turmeric. That is a herb that, of course, the Indians in the country of India have used extensively. They have one of the lowest Alzheimer's rates in the world, and curcumin is very yellow. When they do autopsies on Indian people, their brains are yellow tinted. That's why we know that he's so much. But it also protects against the beta amyloid deposits. But it has this tremendous anti-inflammatory effect on our system. So it modulates or equals a very healthy balance of all these chemicals that could produce too much inflammation. Well, it brings that back down to a manageable level.
Okay, so again, this is if you're not having a problem yet, well, you want to avoid one.
Yes, because chronic inflammation is at the root of almost every disease we don't want to get.
Okay, and then this grouping here is if you are somebody who's hurting a lot in that chronic condition and you don't want to be damaging yourself, these are safe alternatives.
If you're trying to lower the amount of non-steroidal anti-inflammatories and you believe in natural products, there are a host of things that create less discomfort, that don't eat holes in your stomach, make you bleed, and stop the production of moisture into your joints.
Okay, and if you are someone who has the current chronic pain, can you take this and these at the same time?
Absolutely. They all are mixed beautifully together. That's the wonders of nature. It comes with this complexity, but it's a magic complexity that they each feed off each other.
Here's the thing. Ed has studied this. It has been his life for decades now, right?
Almost
Ed?
4 decades.
Almost 4 decades. So he knows it inside and out. Even for me, talking to you every month, it's a lot to absorb, but I know that you have the knowledge. So you can go to Nutrition World, you can talk to Ed, his daughter Katie, anybody else there at the business, and they will happily listen to your concern, your need, and point you to the right aisle. Go to nutritionw.com and watch the video with Dr. Murray.
That's correct.
And understand even more. Thank you, Ed, so much.
Thank you, Julie.